Hi, Bernardo.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I can't help but notice that your name, Carla Renata, is the name of my aunt and her daughter, my cousin, Hinata. Carla is my aunt and Hinata is her daughter. So it's just very funny to see those names
That
together.
they're together in one person. That
Yeah.
is wild. I hardly ever meet anybody with my first name or my last name.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that somebody, and Renata seems to be a popular name right now for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Not a very popular name in Brazil as a first name. It's a very popular, I feel like, Hinata. Yeah.
Oh, well, we got something in common, and apparently your country has good taste. I'm so silly. Pay me no mind. Um, let's
I
talk
love it.
about Omni Loop, shall we? Um,
Yes.
this was it was a visceral film for me because my mother is of an age where, I need to prepare that I may not be on this planet with her for much longer. And I remember one day I asked her um if she if there was ever a time where she got over not having her parents on the
Mhm.
planet anymore, because right now my mother is the only surviving member of her family, the entire family. And so I asked her if there was ever a time that you get over that, and my mother said that you never get over it, you just find a way to get used to it. So
Yeah.
I say all that to say that on the other side of this film, how do you find meaning in your life after losing a loved one who takes up so much space in your life and in your heart?
Here and I don't know. It really still messes me up. This year's been a lot of it for some reason, and my grandpa passed away at the beginning of right before we premiered the movie, and I saw my mom go through it. Obviously I was very affected, but in some ways it's like I remember seeing my mom go through it and realizing like, oh, my mom's also a daughter. Like this is a daughter, and it doesn't matter how old they are or how long you've gotten them for. Like it's an impossible thing to understand that this person is no longer here, that this person who has been everything to you in your life. And I don't know. I don't know. How do we get through with it? I think for me, a huge part of this movie and in the writing of the movie that helped me find some comfort was um when my brother had his first son and I became an uncle, and my nephew was born on my birthday on April
Oh,
1st. I got to hold him in my hands on my birthday, and this was a person that was not there before and now is here and is alive in the world. And then you watch them take their first breath and you watch them learn to speak and sit up and walk and all this kind of stuff, and that just felt like something. I don't know what it is, but it felt like life continues on in some way beyond us, and all the people that came before are there too, whether my nephew ever spent any meaningful time with my grandpa, or if he ever remembers my grandpa. That's irrelevant because my grandpa is there with him because my grandpa shaped me and my grandpa shaped my brother, and those things shaped my nephew. So it's just, I don't know, I guess it's the continuity of life, the fact that your mother clearly had an effect on you, and now we're here on the Zoom and we're talking about her and she's having an effect on me, and I'll get to go through with this and I'll get to pass that on to other people. And I don't know, that's what being alive is about. And so I appreciate you sharing that with me. It's tough.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I know this is meant to be like a sci-fi drama that is set in these circumstances, but you can't help but walk away from it feeling that, because she's taking this pill, she's got the black hole in her chest. I mean, there's all these things that are going on, but at the end of the day, she keeps putting herself in situations where she can go back and talk to people, which brings me to this. But before
Yeah.
I say that, you got a birthday twin with your nephew, and I'm a birthday twin with my dad. I was born
Oh,
at the same time and the same day as my dad.
Yeah, it feels like a special connection, right? I
Right.
feel like
It's
I'm like,
totally
oh, there's something.
right. It's a totally visceral connection that it can't be duplicated. And there's something special about it being on that same day. And particularly with my dad, I literally was born the same time he was on the
Yeah,
same day. So I
yeah,
tease him all the time. I'm like, I'm your birthday present for the rest of your life. Sorry, but not.
yeah, yeah.
Having said all of that, with going back in time, doing this whole time travel thing, if you could go back in time to one moment, where would you go and who would it be with and what would you say to them?
Jeez, it's something that I regret or that I wish I'd said, or I
Just,
don't
I
know.
mean, there's like, for example, there's a friend of mine that passed away recently, and the one thing that I regret is not having spent more time with her. So I wish I had been able to just spend more. If I had one more moment with her, we would have some sangria and have a big old hearty laugh. That's what we would be doing. I would just love to have
Oh,
that one more moment with her.
man, that stuff really, I don't know. It really it does something to me. All those things. I mean, that's why I guess I made a whole movie about it. But all those
You
thoughts and
think?
I don't know. I have so much kind of I wouldn't even call it regret, but it's just like I'll put it to you this way. I made a movie about an astronaut losing his glove and the glove kind of drifting off into space forever. This is a real story that happened. There was a glove that got unhooked and it just sort of floated away. And the idea of something just kind of floating away from you and not being able to get back to it, like even like friends that I've drifted away from who are still like living and in the world, like I still feel so like, I wish we could just like go back and be kids again and hanging out at that parking lot at the Walgreens in Miami, where I was just like, maybe, get candy and hang out in the parking lot. Wasn't that so fun to go back to that? I don't know. I'm constantly thinking about the past. I'm constantly thinking about people in my life. I was just talking about this.
I
But
have
yeah,
tripped you up today, haven't I?
in a good way. In a good way. I appreciate all of it. I like it. I wish there was an easy answer and a good thing. I'll say this. Um, this is a person that I'm still like super close with, super best friends with, but we dated for a long time. We were in a relationship for like 6 years or something like that. And now I still like I talk to her every day. But there's a moment that I remember where we were both laying in bed and we were listening to a song that just would loop the sound of seagulls at the beach. And I think it was near her birthday, and we were just sitting there, and the sun was hitting the window. And I just remember that moment being really kind of special. So I would think I would just like to go back and just experience that moment again because it's those moments where you really feel so close to another human being. Those moments just remind you of what life is about, right? Where we really, there's so much performance in all of it. But right now I feel like I'm really connecting with you and I feel like we're really talking as people and I feel very grateful for all of those moments. So maybe in 20 years I'll look back and I'll be like, it was that interview with Carla. That was the moment. That was the height of my life.
Hilarious. And I kind of love you for that, though, all at the same time. But before I close it out, I just want to thank you so much for your time and for your artistry. I remember when this film played at the Santa Barbara Festival, and I wasn't able to catch it there because I was a juror for another genre of film, and I was inundated with that. But I was happy that I was able to finally catch up with it and catch up with you. So thank you, and thank you for sharing what you did with me. It really meant a lot.
Oh, well, I really appreciate it. I appreciated that the movie spoke to you in some way, and yeah, I appreciate the love and support. It's great. Thank you for the
Cool,
conversation.
cool, no problem. And tell Carla and Renata I said what's up.
I will. I will.